Hey kids, welcome back to the Apartment 83 podcast. The weather continues to get colder and shittier, but thanks for stopping by while you're doing whatever you're doing, while you're listening to me doing whatever this is that I'm doing. Last week, I had my friend Tom stop by. It was a real fun time. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. On this episode, we establish the answer to whether or not Sean Paul can cause brain damage. There's a thing. We'll get into it. Also on the show today, my friend Steve O. He hates being called that now because in 2002, that's what his name. Now his name is his name that he was born with. It's Steve Rausche, one of my best friends for over 25 years. Is also in the studio with us today. So take a listen. So you think this is it does meander a bit, but ultimately I think it's pretty funny, somewhat educational, and it was just it's a good time overall. Right, so here's me and Tom and Steve.
Should I raise this up towards my mouth?
Come on, dude. You're an audio engineer. This should be no more than a fist away from your face at all times.
That was a statement, not a question. Oh. I'm kidding.
It sounded like you had an inflection of an upward at the...
That's because I was just trying to cover my ass.
I see.
All right.
Tom,
Did you actually start this already?
A little closer. You do know...
Well, I know that, but I didn't know if you were going to cut that out or not.
I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe not. Talking about Carmen's haircuts. Where is Carmen from?
He's direct from Italy. He's from the original Old Country.
Yeah, you know what? I do know that dude.
Do you?
I think he's like a family friend. I used to go there to get my haircut.
You know what? That makes sense that he'd be a family friend of yours.
Yeah. That is funny. Huh. Straight from the boat.
He might have captained the boat. It's been him. He's been here a minute for sure. I remember one day it was really dead there, and I went and sat down, and it was waiting, and then he's like, he has to pee all the time because he's like 78 years old. So he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm like, man, no problem, whatever, man. And he comes back out. He goes, you play guitar, right? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and he busts out his acoustic, and we just start playing guitar. We just start jamming back and forth for an hour.
And all the Italian dude learning how to play guitar. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, not learning. Like he was like flamenco and finger picking, and I'm like, cool, I know chords, and I fucking I bullshit because I was in a punk band.
Like,
so we're starting now, right? Let's say that this is the start point.
I make the.
I was talking about going to the bathroom and stuff.
Well, I'm not gonna leave that in.
Okay.
I figure out a good end point, and I do an intro. There's like a short musical transition, and then
it'll probably be out the haircut.
But now that you mentioned the fact that you were talking about going to the bathroom, you now have mentioned that you talked about going to the bathroom.
I meant before.
That's still on the thing.
I didn't even have the mic.
You
to my
said
mouth.
we start right now, and then you brought up the.
I didn't even have my mic to the mouth yet at that point. So what are you gonna do with the guitar?
I'm gutting it and I'm putting it. Remember the Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro, the black one that I got. Those pickups and pots and everything are going into that.
Oh, okay.
In December, I'll have had it for 2 years, and it's in pieces right now. So I'm angry at myself, but I kind of dragged my feet about a lot of different shit. And do I want to have Pete do it, or do I want to try to do it myself? And
what about that Mike Umfred guy? Did I tell you about him? I haven't done anything about it. I just saw like a thing on. I think one of my Facebook friends went to him before and liked what he did.
Where is he?
I don't know. I have his contact info. If you want it, I can give it to you.
Yeah, shoot it over. No, Pete always does an amazing job, but and I'm obviously, excuse me, going on almost 2 years. I'm not in a hurry to get this guitar. It's not like I'm doing anything with it, but he usually takes a couple weeks or whatever. But I was back and forth onto whether or not I wanted to keep the push-pull pots, the split coils and stuff. Nobody who listens to this podcast is going to know any fucking thing about what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I was about to say, what? So paradiddles?
Right, but yeah.
See?
Tom is alive on Instagram.
You guys can finish.
I think I have the wrong ones. He's been drumming again.
Well, I told you that I showed you that Wolf guitar, that Les Paul.
Yeah.
The one. Did you actually watch that video at all?
I think I did.
The one that I texted you.
That was a while ago, though, right?
Yeah. The guy that looks like Danzig or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a good guitar.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's basically a Les Paul clone, except it has a different headstock on it.
Yeah.
Do you still play the Nick Huber guitar?
Which?
Oh, the
The
brand.
Nick Huber guitar, yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Which one?
There's a Nick Huber guitar. Like there's a guitar maker called.
No,
Nick
I'd
Huber.
never owned an actual NIK Huber guitar before. different person.
You should get one.
They're really nice. They're supposed to be nice though. But so if you have your phone handy, I want you to read that article that you sent me.
Oh, what
It's
did I
right.
do?
It's right by your. It's right there. So
Yeah, but anyway, I think I do want to get one of those Wolf guitars at some point.
I don't know if I saved it.
well, I'll send it back to you. So on the last podcast, which we did, which is actually going to go live today, Tuesday, October, or whatever the fuck the day is, October 9th. So this will come out next week. Tom had mentioned something about this woman having to have had brain surgery to help with seizures she was having based upon the fact that Sean Paul songs can give you brain damage. And I called bullshit, and he actually found, I think it was 2020 or the ABC article, where they actually said that it was causing seizures in her, and that it's a really rare. I'm gonna have to go back in your text messages.
I know I can't find it.
I know I'll find it in a second. It's a really rare thing. So usually seizures are caused by like flashing lights and stuff, but sometimes it can be caused by sounds and or music, and it's really rare. But this woman had to have an. Here we go. Copy. Oh, it's just earlier. I guess I can pull it up then. Shit. I already moved past it. I'm sending it to you anyway. So she had to have part of her brain removed in order to help with this. And she eventually figured out, like, she went on a cruise and then told, like, the cruise DJs they couldn't play any Sean Paul, and so they didn't. And then they were playing other stuff, and it was still causing her to have these seizures.
See, I didn't read.
I read because I wanted to. I don't think I got to the end of it, but
you knew I had little seizure issues before, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sean Paul helped that?
No, mine was just due to bad sleep habits. At the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's on this boat,
But I'm
and
good now.
they stopped playing the Sean Paul songs, but they were playing other stuff, and it was giving her the seizures still. And she said she almost jumped. She wanted to jump off the boat. She wanted to jump off of the ship.
Probably.
It's probably something in the base, but. Let me see.
Those new megahertz.
Okay, so this is from January of 2008. 2008. This woman, Gail, recently had part of her brain surgically removed in an effort to control her problem with seizures. Let's see. Gail began noticing connection between seizures and the music in 2006 when one of Sean Paul's tracks, "Temperature," was popular. One of the first music. I didn't mean to laugh. It's not at the afflicted. It's at the afflicting. It's like it's Sean Paul.
It's the Sean Paul thing. It's
that's
not
the thing
the poor
that's so
lady.
funny. But the track was "Temperature," and one of the first music induced seizures happened at a cookout where she was where the song was being played. And then it happened again at a restaurant. She realized she was going out of control with the seizures. She went to Long Island Jewish Medical Center to have some stuff done. Something about... let's see. Okay, so when they were at the hospital, her mom played on an MP3 player. That's how old this is. This MP3 player still existed. Played the song, and she went into a seizure in the office so they could show like the doctor what the deal is.
Oh my goodness!
So the song put her into the seizure.
Yeah, I think it has to do with like
the frequencies.
So
or
more
something?
than 3 million people in the United States are affected by seizures and epilepsy, a diagnosis that typically comes when someone has a pattern of repeated seizures. A number of different sensations, can trigger an epic. Is that buzzing? Was that your phone?
Yeah, that was my phone.
Motherfucker.
Sorry.
A number of different sensations can trigger epileptic seizures, including certain odors, loud noises, touching, and flashing lights. But musicogenic, it's a word, musicogenic or music-triggered seizures are far less common. So Tom was right. At the end of the day, I will fess up. I will own up to that shit. Tom was right.
Wasn't my point though. My point was remember we were talking about how flat earthers say that they say that we're insignificant. They say that the space is huge because we're insignificant. That us not being insignificant. I just don't. It's just funny.
Wait, you're saying your argument is that a Sean Paul song causing someone to have seizures is making us not insignificant in the grand scheme of the infiniteness of space?
No, the human figured out which part of the brain was damaged, and he cut inside of her head and cut it out and fixed it. And now she can listen to Sean Paul's songs again.
In 50 years, they're going to look back and go, "We used to cut people's heads open."
That's what I mean. Like we're not insignificant.
You need to ground yourself, my friend.
I don't know.
We barely exist. We are all just ants.
That I agree with
to the cosmic god Thanos. I
agree with that.
Slaves
the fishbowl effect.
So I wanted to start off as early on with that, just capitulating and saying Tom was right. He didn't make it
I
up.
wasn't doing it to be right or wrong, though. I was
He
trying to
didn't, he didn't make it up. No, but I called bullshit on it. Whatever your reason for bringing it up, yeah, I called bullshit, and you were right, and I was wrong.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers. So, is that still the same kombucha, or is that the new one?
No, it's a new one. It's the same flavor, though.
What is that?
Kombucha?
Okay. No, I mean I know what kombucha is.
Oh,
I mean I was
it's,
just seeing what that was.
yeah, take a look.
Okay.
It's delicious. I noticed you have a GoPro over there. Do you film these?
It's not a GoPro. No, it's so. And I covered this a couple podcasts ago. So you ever go on Amazon Prime, right? You go in your app or whatever, and it's like deal of the day. This is a quote unquote GoPro style camera, right?
A GoPro.
Right, a GoPro. That normally, again, according to Amazon, retails for almost $1,000. No, it's like $900. It's like $889. It usually goes for. It was on sale for $30. So I'm like, you know what? Even if it's a piece of shit for $30, yeah, all right, whatever. So I got it, and then I start looking at it. Then it gives you the suggestions of other things. You know, it's like all similar cameras that were around the same idea or even better were $30 to $60. So I'm like, how the fuck is this an almost $900 camera? And then I got it and realized it's not. It's, if you look at, like, it talked about it too.
It's not a $40 camera, or it's not a $900.
It's not a $900 camera. There are as you read through like the instructions and stuff, there are multiple T's throughout words that they don't belong in, and it's not just a matter of like it being a typo. A lot of times when products are manufactured in China or Japan, depending upon like which company manufactured them, the people that they have on staff to do the native language to English translation don't exactly know the actual way that the English words would be said. Oh, please do. Yeah, I didn't highlight anything, and I wish that I did. But there's ones where it's like there's just random T's in the middle of words, and I'm like, I'm calling bullshit. And I'm looking at this thing, and it didn't even come with a memory card. It came with like the waterproof kit and like a bunch of different shit, but it didn't come with a memory card. So I haven't had a chance to actually test out to see whether or not it actually, records decently. It came with like 2 batteries even, which are, the rechargeable.
How much was this thing?
It was $30, but it retails on Amazon for $889.
Okay.
GoPro's the most expensive, like the whatever. See, now I'm the dick with my phone on. I thought I should turn yeah, there we go. Fuck off. Even the whatever 5, the Pro 5 or whatever it's called, like one of their nicest cameras. There's the Hero 5 and Hero 6. Those are $500, and those are really good fucking cameras. So I'm like, So my intention was to use it to film, and I haven't gotten a SD card for it yet, and it's too late to send it back.
Is it too late to send it back?
Yeah, it's been like almost 2 months.
Oh,
Never too late.
It's never too late to send it back. So yeah, so it's been like 2 months. So
I've got I don't know if never too late CD in the car if you don't have yours anymore.
Which one?
The after 2.
I have 700 in my basement.
Okay, I have like 20. Do you have one? I'll give you one.
I would like one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we should give him one. I seriously
It's
have
in the box with the tapes.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I have
I have
2.
700 of them.
I have 2 unopened boxes that are $250 each, so $500 for sure, and then an open box which probably has another 100, probably like 200. It's only got like a good handful missing from it. So yeah, I have a shitload of those. Yeah.
Pressed and all.
Yeah.
Saran wrapped.
Yeah, they're shrink wrapped. They got a fucking barcode on them. People are like, you should put it on eBay. I'm like, nobody's gonna fucking buy this. Nobody needs that. But I got them. It's an awful lot of road noise. Oh, you know what it is? There's construction right over there. God damn it.
Is it picking up?
Oh yeah, you can't hear that?
Yes,
Not
I can.
that
Oh no, you know what that is? That's a helicopter going over to one of the hospitals.
True.
Yeah, no, that's what that is for sure.
True.
So
Right.
there was something else I was gonna say. Can't fucking remember what it is now.
The GoPro.
No, it having nothing to do with that. I thought I'm gonna write down some stuff so that because I want to talk about it just for whatever, and I forgot to write it down.
Bummer.
Yeah, because now we're just doing this back and forth, and
This is clipping my left side. My phone went off. I'm sorry. I'll turn it off.
just put it on. Just put it on Do Not Disturb, and your notifications will still come up on your screen. It just won't buzz or anything.
I just put it on airplane mode. Now nobody can get a hold of me.
Tom's off the grid.
Off grid.
So what's going on with you, dude? What are you up to? I'm addressing Steve-O. I'm sorry, I didn't even say who's here.
Hello.
I'll say in the beginning when I do the intro, but I have returning guest Tom Falcone.
Howdy.
Yeah, and I'm Steve Rausche. I'm a friend of Nick's since middle school, and we played in bands together and did stuff.
That's how you say
How long
last
have I
name?
known you? 20?
Over 20 years, yeah.
How do you say your last name?
25?
Rausch?
Since
Yeah.
we were about 11.
Yeah, like 25. Well, yeah, fucking forever. Yeah,
Sweet
Jesus.
home.
we're fucking old.
And we're all from Sweet Home.
That's true. I mean, you were definitely multiple classes after us, but
Yes.
yeah.
Weird. My mom lives down the street from Glendale.
Yeah. Your mom now lives down the street from my parents.
Yes.
Like,
I always forget about that.
like about a block. It's about a block from my parents.
I need to go for a walk.
I mean, I live in the city, but yeah, if I'm ever in the neighborhood.
With our anacondas, by the way. Oh, yeah, that's right.
What?
So Steve, you are having a child. I don't think he has had any of those weird fears yet.
Oh, the anacondas that we talked about last time. Yeah.
What does the anaconda have to do with having a kid?
So I as a parent, and I had this obviously with Paige, but I have it a lot now with Nick too. An irrational fear of something that will never happen, that's something that will definitely happen. So I imagine myself like laying in bed, and
still makes no sense.
and I look
but
over at the monitor, right?
You'll
and the
get it,
camera, and the
dude.
camera's looking at the baby, right? The baby's sleeping. He's like, okay, he's down, he's sleeping. All right, he's good. He hasn't stopped breathing. Like, we're good. And I imagine looking over at the camera and going, what is that? And then a fucking like python is wrapped around the child, which it couldn't get. I mean, there's no.
Was this like a dream that you had?
No,
it's
I'm
just-
telling you, it's just a
It's
parent
just irrational
thing, dude.
fears
I'm telling you,
that
Where you actually saw this?
No. It's an irrational fear that
Okay.
your mind manifests that might
So
happen.
did your mind manifest it on the screen? So you thought you saw this?
No, my mind manifests the concept of the
Okay,
fact
okay,
that
okay.
that's a possibility, even though it's not a possibility.
Okay.
And I've had the same thing. I was like, dude, what? I would flip out if there was an anaconda in her.
Like I imagine weird shit. Like I'll change this. Like I'll come in here to get him. And
Oh,
change
that
this
sounded
I
camera.
wasn't
really
sure
weird.
if you like Mandela affected the screen or something.
No. Like so I'll again, because I'm psychotic, but also a parent. I'll be in here and change his diaper. I'll open the door and walk out with him. Right, I'm holding him, and my mind will go, "There's a fucking jaguar in your living room. There's a bobcat. There's a mountain lion." It's from listening to Rogan talk about all those fucking giant cats they have in California. I swear to God, that's what it is. I imagine, I'm like, what would I do? I don't have a weapon. I have nothing on me. Knives are in the kitchen. I got the baby. What do I do? Toss him in the crib, close the door, and hope that
Just hang out until it leaves.
hope that somebody it's a completely irrational fear for something that would never happen.
I'm telling you, they're gonna hand you that baby. One, it's gonna feel like
So I'm gonna think of anacondas and shit.
no.
that
We're
what
not
you're
just
saying?
saying. We just happen to have the same like weird.
What I think for me, I mean, I can only speak to myself, but for what it is for me is that you are now responsible wholly and completely for the safety and livelihood of this thing until they're able to take care of themselves, right? So that takes a while. So for
Well, don't use the word thing.
right, well,
Well, I know.
but right. So this
I know
this
it wasn't
thing, this
meant that way.
this entity that didn't exist.
Oh, you're
prior,
talking about the entity. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the baby. I'm talking about the baby.
The baby's not the entity, though.
In my scenario, it is.
Okay.
And what I'm
all right,
saying is,
whatever. Just keep going.
once okay, most animals in the animal kingdom are born at full maturity enough that they can like get up and walk. For the giraffe, right? They're born at 6 feet tall. They come out within 3 minutes. They're walking, right? Because of the design of the human body and evolution, babies are born at 9 months, and they're born at like 90% of whatever because they have to be squishy to get out of the vaginal canal. Most other animals don't go through that. Their babies are born whole as babies. They're idiots, but they figure shit out. They're not completely helpless. Infant humans are completely helpless. Completely helpless. And so, I mean, it's just bred into, it's genetic in us that, well, you got to protect it and take care of it.
The swaddle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you swaddle it and put it in the.
With the swaddling, and you can't have any extra shit, and they can't be in there with blankets and stuff,
With
and you
the
have
anac-
arguments
it's
with your
too
parents
easy.
about it, because we did it with you kids. I'm like, yeah, well, it's fucking different now. And it's just, so your brain begins to, at least for me, would begin to manifest these things that were impossible scenarios that would most likely never happen, that I would go, in order to protect my child, what would I do? Not in like, what would I do? But like, what's my game plan? How do
Dude, that's the perfect way to explain. Like, it's just like you
Yeah.
try to figure out what you would do in that situation. And so it's just like, what I would do in that situation, I don't fucking know.
So it's like,
scream.
do I start taking jujitsu so I can choke a fucking mountain lion out? Like I can get his back and put him in a sleeper. Like, how does that work? It doesn't.
That kind of applied to the whole. I don't know. I guess we're gonna speak freely here. The whole firearm thing for me. I'm not a very tall dude. I can't put out all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't, like, there's only so much strength I could put out. So, and I just feel like now that I have a daughter, and did we talk about this already?
I don't think on the last one we touched on that.
Well, I have a daughter, and the fact that I'm thinking about I have a daughter, and I tried pretty hard to get into my wife's pants, and I'm just like, oh my God, I have a daughter now, too, and I got to worry about other fucking boys trying, and I'm just like, there's only so much I could do, and I'm watching humans feed baby ducks to alligators, and I'm just like, pedophilia is a weird thing. Humans are insane. I can't stand it. But it's just like anacondas, though, in North Buffalo.
Yeah,
it goes way deep. It's
right.
Just insane.
Yeah. So like I said, you start to imagine things that are almost impossibilities. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I brought up on the anaconda thing specifically pertains. This is an affliction on myself. The last podcast I brought up something that actually happened. I think it was in Thailand where this dude was sitting on the toilet and a giant anaconda, boa constrictor, some kind of constricting snake came through the toilet and latched onto his dick.
A serpent. It
And
doesn't
they had like they managed to call 911 and like the rescue teams came in and had to smash the toilet around from him so he could stand up for them to remove it from his penis. And it's like, I don't know why I changed the word. I said dick in the first place. But I'm like, so for a good 4 months, I was very hesitant. I hovered for the first month. What I wouldn't sit.
You were actually affected by this?
Yeah, no, it got to me because I'm just like, and then I'm like, you're being irrational. There's no chance of that happening. It's Buffalo, but well, there's pythons in Florida that aren't native to there because people got them as pets and said, fuck it. And now they're overpopulating the area and they're an invasive species that are killing all kinds of ground nesting birds and shit.
Turtles, too, in Buffalo that happened with, too. Turtles were outlawed for a minute.
Yeah. What kind of turtles?
Just those regular turtles that you see around. Like, people were just buying them and letting them go in the sewers and, like, in Delaware Park.
Did they think that they were going to run in some radioactive goo and become Ninja Turtles? Like,
that would have been sick.
Why would you put them in a sewer?
I don't know. Just there were, in urban territories, people wouldn't, like, go to, like, they would get too big for their cages, so they just, like, set them go, and they'd throw them in the
they would go to, like,
sewer. Like, just, yeah.
People are fucked up, dude.
But now, like, there's so many what is that? Hoyt Lake?
Yeah, Hoyt.
It's like filled with turtles. Like,
Is
there's
it?
so many turtles in there. It's because of people get.
I've seen them at the Japanese garden.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've seen them in Hoyt Lake. But I usually do the circle.
What is that like that everybody always ice skates on, and it's by the art gallery? And is that Hoyt Lake?
Yeah, that's Hoyt.
Yeah.
I don't think people ice skate on that.
Yeah, you never seen them? Like, sometimes they hold those, like, hockey tournaments and shit like that.
No, I didn't think that froze
kinda
enough. Huh. Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah. So all the turtles freeze then? Or what?
I don't know.
How does that fucking work?
I don't know. But speaking of freezing, I am not ready for the winter time.
I know. It was 84 yesterday, and I was not mad about it.
I was not mad about it. I loved it, actually.
Where's my fall? I want my latte. I'm like, fuck
No,
yourself. Give
I
me
don't
my
wanna-
June day back.
You gotta wear long underwear. You gotta fucking warm up the car. If you don't brush off the top of your car, you're gonna drive away. You do a nice, good job, right?
It's supposed to be a little cooler tonight, right? At least in
Yeah,
the
and that's
morning.
we're saying it's swinging back toward that
Yeah.
9 months of me being depressed out of my mind all the time because the
one
weather's
thing-
garbage.
The one thing that I do like about the autumn time, though, is the sleeping weather temperature at night. I like it when it's cooler at night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, me too. I mean, that's why, like,
Because I don't have AC in the home. That's part of it, too. 'Cause I
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
air conditioning. So, like, in the middle of summer when it's, like, 90 degrees and it's humid,
yeah.
and you're laying there with, like, a pair of boxer shorts, you know,
And you're just
if you
sweltering.
choose to wear things. when
Yeah.
you
If you're
sleep.
just like, you know what? It's just me. I'm
okay with
I'm gonna
that.
go commando in my own bed.
I am totally okay with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, if it's hot enough, I won't wear underwear. That's it.
When you freshly wash your sheets, whenever I do that, before I go to bed that night, I'm showering and sleeping naked.
I don't like to sleep naked. I feel weird.
That's what you were saying, right? that even if you decided to wear the boxers.
Well, I usually do, if that means anything.
Nobody gives a shit if you do or you don't.
Oh, no one doesn't care. That doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yeah, do it, don't. I don't. A lot of times I don't.
What?
Okay.
Who cares?
Well, I'm just talking about the humidity factor.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, it's just that I like the way the temperature is now at night when you can go to sleep and be comfortable inside the blanket and not sweat your ass off.
See, I sweat so much that during the cooler months like now, I'll still run AC all night long.
Oh shit!
I'll still run it and be like, I have a sweat towel. I have my regular bath towels, and then I have older towels that are shittier towels that I use as sweat towels that just go on my pillow, and I change them out every couple of days because I sweat that much that I would soak through pillows within a couple of days. So I have that's how much. So yeah, I'm running AC even if it's like 60 degrees outside at night and no sun. It's not enough for me. I'm still sweating. I somehow manage.
That's crazy. I love the heat. I wear pants all summer.
You wear pants all the fucking time.
I am content with it.
I don't know. I can't
just
do
like
it.
the heat.
When I tell people that I prefer to live in Orlando, and a lot of it has to do with like the sun, the extended warm temperatures. Also, Disney's there. They're like, "How would you do that? You sweat like it's your job." And I'm like, "Well, maybe I could get a job sweating in Orlando, and then I make a fucking mint, and I wouldn't have to worry about it."
Make a mint.
Those aren't things that exist. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm all about the heat. You could ask some of my friends. Sometimes it'll be pretty hot outside, and I still feel a little chill, so I'll turn the heat on in the car. Don't care. I'm all about the heat.
If you're by yourself, that's fine. If somebody else is riding with you, it's kind of a dick move if you don't ask them first.
Well,
I mean, even if it's not the same thing as when you got your license. It's like, my car, my tunes. I own the radio. It's like, you know what? People sweating to
but
death.
what's cool about the Volkswagen though, there's two climate controls, so it was like kind of perfect. But I'm all about the heat though.
Kind of like one side, like the passenger has their own heat control.
So mine is all.
See, I like
heat.
that.
The heat's
Tom,
always on.
you weigh 100 pounds. You have no body fat. That's why you prefer the heat.
We already talked about this. 130. I gained 2 pounds since I moved in with my mom. So
Right, because she's cooking for you. Those home cooked meals. He is like the most, and this is, and I love you, most petite, adorable.
I'm 5'5". Leave me alone.
He's 5'5", 130, and it's like I almost outweigh you by 100 pounds, and most of it's fat. We probably have about the same amount of muscle mass.
Probably, but that's what I mean. I can't give out too much more muscle than I could.
Well, Nick, you've thinned out a bit, I think, compared to like early 20s, I think.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I was 270 then. Yeah, I'm around 220, 225 now. I've been up and down. I've been as low as 180, and that was pretty great, but it's just too much to maintain it. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah,
Well, believe it or not, my weight has fluctuated here and there, but I was never overweight, though.
No, I don't think.
But I mean, I've gone up and down maybe like 10 pounds here and there. It would just be due to just like certain eating habits, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I can fluctuate 6 pounds in a week depending on my eating habits. And the next week I'm like, all right, cool, I can do it. I'm going to go back to eating fucking Cheerios and whatever. And
I've never had that problem.
yeah, no, you haven't. When you were touring heavy and I was doing a project in school, in college, I pulled together something with a cute song where I did like a montage with a bunch of pictures, and I'm like, there needs to be a lot of Tom pictures in here because there's obviously Sean's all over the fucking place, and there was a lot of you just shirtless. I'm like, dude, Tommy got cut just from drumming.
So
he didn't even have to. He didn't,
an hour a day.
Yeah,
He played drums an hour a day,
and that's the benefit to your body type. It's like, yeah, you might not be a big dude, but you can put on muscle pretty quickly.
How was the eating habits on tour? Just out of
bad.
curiosity. I'm just wondering what people do.
You eat at nighttime and then you acquire heartburn.
Yeah, and probably whatever.
Is it just mainly like
local fast
food something or other?
Yeah, fast food. Sometimes you'll get like a buyout. It depends on the buyout. Most of the time it's like a really shitty, awful, like crappy restaurant across the street from the venue. This is like kind of if you're like in a van band, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bowl of brown M&Ms.
Right.
Yeah, that's arena stuff. That people do that just to make sure they get.
Yeah, that's why Van Halen
they're
did
testing to make sure that everybody's reading the full rider. And it's like,
Yeah.
or they're that crazy. I mean, there's also that.
Yeah, they're definitely that.
The
too.
Van Halen thing, I heard that they did the brown M&Ms thing to make sure people were reading the full rider.
I thought that was Ozzy.
No, it was Van Halen that did that. Mm-hmm.
You got to see the
Unless
Foo
Ozzy
Fighters.
did it too, I don't know.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of?
But Van Halen did do it, and I know that that both Eddie and Dave have talked about that in the past, that they did that because that way they could test to see if the venue was actually reading the full rider, because if they would find other colored M&Ms in there without wait, it wasn't the bowl of brown M&Ms, it was a bowl of M&Ms with the brown ones removed. That's what
Okay,
it was.
so
So
what
if they
I'm-
found brown M&Ms in the bowl of M&Ms, they would think, wait a minute, and then they would be able to question the
You
vendor
guys have
see
to
if they followed
see
through on other things. That
the
was the
Foo
reason why they
Fighters
did
rider.
that.
Well, what I'm, and I'll get to that in a second. What I was thinking
So
of
they weren't doing
is
it to
from
be
Wayne's
pricks,
World
they were doing
2
it so
when he was
people-
talking to that guy who was that famous roadie. The story he told is that they were in India and Ozzy needed to have a bowl of just brown M&Ms. That's probably a take on that story.
Yeah.
It's probably what it was.
But the Van Halen thing was they wanted the brown M&Ms removed from the bowl.
Yeah.
Just to test to see if the
Yeah.
place would actually honor their rider of other shit,
Yeah.
And if they found brown M&Ms in their bowl of M&Ms, they would talk to them.
Yeah, they talked
Because
about
they all the rider stuff that comes out of their pay. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like if I pay for something and it's not there, it's still pretty frustrating.
Yeah. The venue's not giving you that, in addition
Yeah.
to that comes out of your cut for whatever.
Oh,
so,
totally.
Yeah.
People flip out. But yeah, depending on the band or the
So what's
tour,
with the Foo Fighters one?
their rider looks like an airplane manual. It's like specifically designed to make sure that the runner doesn't fuck up.
Well, how long is it though? Like if it's
It's
like
not
a
very long.
novel, like
It's like-
who's gonna be able to page through this thing?
It's not. It's like literally like a
Is it-
pamphlet.
okay,
It's
is it
like you
easy to
could-
read?
I wonder if I'd be able to find
But
it.
like the detail of
Do
it.
they have like drawings and
Yes,
diagrams?
it
and
is
shit?
so funny.
Like I
and,
remember seeing them it was a backstage. This is fucking years ago, a backstage thing, and then Dave's like, "So we get this stuff. It's made from bull sperm. We get it from Japan. It's on a rider. Comes with everything." And that's the one thing I remember. It was some kind of weird drink that was an energy drink made from bull sperm that came from Japan.
God.
Was that a test thing, or was that something you actually wanted?
I think they drank it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't recall if he
knows?
did in the video, but he says we drink this all the time, and I don't know if that was.
Have
a
you
real
guys ever
thing.
seen that documentary?
Which one?
Back and forth.
What is that?
the Foo Fighter one.
Yeah.
No, I've not.
Oh
I haven't seen
man, that is a good one. That is a good one.
So what does it cover?
Everything. Like it starts off with Dave Grohl talking about how he's like, Kurt Cobain died, and I'm wondering what to do with my life. And he's like, so I have these like demos. He's like, I just say fuck it and I go record these demos. He's like, I want to start a band. And he literally, and then it's the whole thing. And then they interview each band member, and then they go through like everything about how they wanted to break up, and like Dave was gonna play drums for Queens of the Stone Age, and like this and that.
You mean if Kurt hadn't died, this is the direction the band would have probably gone into?
Wait, what do you mean?
If Kurt didn't die, do you think the band would have broken up?
No,
like,
I
shortly
think what you're
after
saying is
that?
like after Foo Fighters started, he got to a point where they almost broke up, and then
Oh.
he was
Oh
thinking
yeah,
about,
it goes further into the Foo Fighters. Like
Okay,
it
you talk about the
begins
Foo
at
Fighters
like Kurt passing away, and then the journey of Foo Fighters, and it's like a really awesome documentary, and it's like just cool. I don't know.
is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it is on Netflix.
Oh
actually.
shit, maybe I'll watch it then.
Yeah, I always wondered if say if Kurt never died, if the band would have broken up shortly after due to stupid shit like.
Who knows?
Well, I was wondering if Dave would have eventually gone his own way and started his own band anyway, so Foo Fighters may have still existed. Maybe they would have gotten a different drummer in Nirvana, or maybe Nirvana would have broken up and
Yeah.
Kurt would have done something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I always
I-
kind of wondered what would have happened.
I do know the bass player from Nirvana plays on a bunch of Foo Fighters songs, or at least one of them at least.
Chris plays on. Does he?
Yeah.
I know he's done appearances with them.
He's on the recordings.
Yeah.
Some of it. Okay.
I know he's.
I think they covered that in that. You guys got to see that documentary. It's
I'll have to
amazing.
watch it because I know Pat's with them periodically too, but I don't know if he records with them still.
Which one's Pat?
The guitar player, Pat Smear, who was like the add-on guitar player toward the end of Nirvana. And then he was one of the founding members of Foo Fighters with Dave.
He's in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Foo Fighters now too.
Yeah, he's in. Foo
He's
Fighters.
in it. Is
Yeah.
he? Is he on
He came
record?
back.
Is he on the records?
I
though?
think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Along with the dude.
They have
from,
3 guitar players in the like.
Oh, okay.
He plays. I think that Pat plays like baritone guitar, so his guitar might be tuned a little bit lower. I don't know. I don't really know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is so nuts. That dude from No Use for a
But
Name
he's
plays
in
guitar with them.
Yeah, Chris Shiflett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Scott
so
Shiflett's
sick.
brother. Scott Shiflett's the bass player currently for Face to Face.
How was that
Oh
acoustic?
shit.
show?
Really good. I talked
Yeah.
about the earlier podcast. Yeah,
The
no, it was
acoustic Face to
it was
Face
really
show.
good. Yeah, it was a
That's
really
cool.
good set. It was really fun.
Was it everybody minus the drummer? Did they not have the drummer?
No, the drummer was there.
Oh, that's cool.
He had, I think, like
I forgot the new drummer's name. Something.
I don't remember.
I'll know what it is if I look it up.
It's maybe a hi-hat and a crash and maybe a ride. And then I think the rest of the kit was electric, was like a E-kit.
Okay.
So that they could pump through the house rather than trying to battle with,
yeah. Especially with acoustic guitars and stuff.
But Trevor had this gorgeous, it looked like a semi-hollow Gresh acoustic electric that was like this matte black.
And Chad was playing too, right?
No, Chad is not in the band.
I thought Chad came back.
It's another dude who was touring because he talked about it too.
Oh.
Trevor's actually the only original member of the band because Scott replaced whoever the original bass player was. I'm drawing a blank in his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So Trevor's actually the only original. They talked about it and went over it. But whoever's playing with him now is really good. He's in something else. He was in other shit. He's really, really good though. He's got a fucking 1,000 effects pedals up there. But it was neat because.
See, I thought that Chad came back, but I thought he was still on the new record. I know he came back. Did he like just
maybe
leave?
He's not touring with them?
Oh, but he's on records?
But he's on the record?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure who's on, because the acoustic record, I can't remember what it's called. I talked about it last time, or a couple times ago.
That's why they're doing this, right? Because they did an acoustic record.
Yeah, so they're touring and
Are
supporting
they
it.
they're all old songs though, right?
Yeah, they're all, well, I mean, they're all songs that have been recorded.
Danny Thompson is the drummer's name.
Yeah, he was in.
Okay, because I'm just looking at the thing here. Yeah, it says Dennis. Dennis Hill is the other guitar player.
Dennis, right? Yeah, he said Dennis. Yeah, I don't know what he's from, but I mean, they put on it was a great set though, and it sounded really good. And it's a good room. I don't know what it sounds like, with like full band, but it's supposed to be decent.
Matt Riddle was the old bass player.
Yes, yeah, that's right. I don't know what he did after that, but yeah, no, it was good. It was a good time, and on like a different end of the spectrum, kind of.
Okay, Chad left. He came back in 2008, and then 2014 he left.
Okay, so he was back for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Metallica. I've never seen them before.
When are you going to that?
Saturday the 27th, I think it is, of October.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's at their Key Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen them, and it's like, yeah, I know they're all 50 fucking something years old, but it's probably a good show.
I don't know if it was Metallica or not, but they have 2 stage crews or something like that. Like, it takes a full day to break down their stage. Mm-hmm. So one crew goes ahead to the next venue, sets up while the one crew breaks down, and then Metallica goes. And then,
so they have 2 whole staging rigs?
Yeah, so like they keep going forward. Do you know?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying for sure.
And there's a few bands that do that.
There can't be many though to have a
well, Metallica I definitely see doing.
Yeah.
But there are definitely quite a few. Like Prince, for instance, I think did that.
I bet you the Carters, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Oh, for sure, dude.
they got to have that shit going on.
But who knows? But like, definitely.
There's a new Saves the Day record in the works.
I think I saw something on Facebook about a single from that they
I actually heard it. It's okay. It's decent.
Yeah, it's all right. It's never going to be Through Being Cool.
Well, I know that. I know you.
And that's just the one that I like. That's the one I'm hung up on.
I like the Stay What You Are record, the one after it.
I like that one too. But Through Being Cool, like, Can't Slow Down was great because it was kind of like just after Lifetime broke up, and so it was real fast and stuff.
The reason why In Reverie didn't do well is because they did such a drastic change from that previous record. Like, it wasn't like a subtle change. They like really jumped ship like a lot.
For me, it wasn't that they changed so much as that I don't think the songs are good. That's me personally.
No, I know what you mean. You know what? Here's what I think with the In Reverie record. I know a lot of the fans, it's grown on them over the years, but here's my take on In Reverie. To me, they actually sound like they'd be awesome Weezer songs if Rivers were singing instead of Chris.
I could see
to
that.
Me, because they sound like Weezer songs to me.
I could see that.
And also Chris kind of changed his singing style and kind of went into that lazy kind of voice. Yeah. He's kind of belting it out a little bit more so now, I think, on the newer records, but on that one, he kind of has that.
Well, I mean, like
sitting on the couch eating a ham sandwich sound.
Like when Face to Face put out Ignorance is Bliss, most people fucking hated it. I'm like,
I thought that record was good.
I love that record.
Did they do acoustic versions of that? Because I bet they sounded good.
I think 1 or 2 songs. Whatever the is on the record, they basically played the record. Maybe not in order, but they played the record. Maybe one other song. No, I loved Ignorance is Bliss. I thought it was great. It was not the Face to Face that I knew. and I think that turned a lot of people off. And that's right when they got that huge distribution deal with BMG.
Well, I think part of it's also people thought it was like a sellout major label.
Right, and it wasn't. They had
sound.
a little cash, so we're going to make the record we want to make. And I loved it. It wasn't the face, and they kind of the next record they kind of went back to that sort of template a little bit. You could tell that they matured, but they was still back to that same sort of.
I think part
template.
of it's also the labels don't promote things as well, because I think also like what Saves the Day, they were on a major for that record too, and that got like no promotion. They the company dropped promotion on that record like the week it came out.
Yeah, but the thing is
that,
the success though when you're a band like that is a lot of times the metric for it is at the very least the fans that were already fans.
Yeah,
and if you didn't promote it, you're not helping to gain new fans, but you can definitely lose a lot of fans that you currently have if you put something out that's so drastically different, or like I said, like I thought, I just didn't care for the songs.
Well, All.
Yeah.
The record Pummel.
Yeah.
That was their one that was on the major label too. That was on Interscope, I think.
Yeah.
In '95, and that record is actually a bit different than their more Descendancy sounding stuff.
I feel like that happens when you go to a major and you have people with money going, well, what if we did this? Or what if
Not
we did
all.
that?
I mean, there's a lot of good, like the good songs off that record are the songs like $1,000,000 and Breaking Up and like songs like that, the poppier songs. But they had some of their weird like drop D songs on there. They had a couple of weird ones on there, and those are the songs that they don't play live because it doesn't really sound like them. But I wonder if the major label had anything to do with it, or if it was just their phase that they were in, because it was the '90s and people were doing shit like that.
Yeah, definitely possible. I don't know.
No matter. I'm happy that they came back and did stuff that sounds good.
Yeah.
So.
Holy shit. Completely separate topic. I just thought because it's something I want to talk about.
And that's actually this is pointless info for probably people that don't care. But anyway, I'm just going to say it before you go back to your thing.
Yeah.
Regarding that Pummel record that All did, I think that's the only record that they recorded where they were a half step down on the recording. Because I think everything else is in standard pitch.
I think typically they are. I think they are.
Yeah.
At least when I try to figure them out.
And whenever they play any of those,
easier to sing to.
Well, yeah, that's true. But the thing is, though, even when they play any of those All songs from that record live, like $1,000,000, for instance, they don't tune down. They play it a half step up, and they still play it in that pitch. It doesn't sound weird or anything, but and plus Chad or whoever's singing can sing it.
Yeah.
But they don't tune down. They actually play up.
We had to tune down.
But during that phase,
we
period,
had to tune down.
I think during the period that they tuned down, probably during like the All Pummel tour, they probably tuned everything down. But I think that since then they've always played at standard.
Yeah.
And they play up on those songs if they play them.
But the tune downing that we had to do was post the recordings. Like it was like the records were out, everything was in
Are you
standard.
talking about Never Too Late stuff?
Yeah. And
we played in standard pitch on that.
Yeah, on the records we did. But when I think this is probably after you. So it was me, Gary, Nate.
Oh, was this after I? Because I don't remember tuning down.
We had to tune down a half step because on the earlier stuff I couldn't hit those notes anymore in the higher ranges. Okay. It was too high for me.
Jeez.
So we actually had to tune down a half step.
Well, you
right, buddy?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this though, but on the Chasing Static record with Aaron.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where we were performing live a half step down. But it was only because, you want to know why we did it? It wasn't because Aaron was having trouble singing. It was because I think Aaron had a cold one day. And so he's like, oh, just turn down today. And then we kept it that way.
Yeah.
Because we got used to it. But then when we recorded the record, we asked, hey, are we going to record a half step down, or are we going to go to standard again? And he said, go to standard.
Yeah.
So we recorded it in standard. And I think since then we stayed in standard when we played again too.
Yeah.
It was just because I think we just got used to the sound of the half step down, that it sounded
I
normal.
honestly feel, I mean, again, it's just for me, like just that half step down, it sounds a little more natural.
It depends on I think it depends on the band too. Some bands sound
when it comes to the thing altogether.
Some don't.
It's because I like the heavier sound, and so the lower down you go, the heavier it sounds, and so between that and the singer being able to hit pitch, I mean, for me it became a real issue. Now there's not a fucking chance I could sing those songs anymore.
Have you tried?
Are you talking about at the standard pitch, you mean?
Yeah. There's not a chance.
It'll probably sound better.
Half to a whole
anyway,
step
though.
down I would need to be down in order to sing those fucking songs.
Oh my god.
Half step you can't really tell too much. Whole step you could definitely tell. I think, when bands do.
Yeah, especially if you know the material really well, and then you go and see them live, and like, this doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. That happens a lot. I know that. What was Elliot? with
The band Elliot?
yeah, the band Elliot. They had, was it False Cathedrals? They had a single out that actually was on a cassette with a mix from other stuff from their label that I first got, and then I bought the record. But the way that it starts, was it Suitcase and Adams that they started playing weird? I'd seen them a few times, is
it the tuning thing?
Yeah, I don't know if they tuned it differently. It must be the tuning thing then. I don't know, because every other song that they played was the same. I could tell the pitch was the same as the record, but they would play this one song, and I saw them play it 2 or 3 times, over the course of a few shows, over 5 years or whatever. And it's like they're not playing it the same, because I'm singing along, like I know right where I'm supposed to be because I sing in my car, so I know vocally where I'm supposed to be. And I'm like, that's lower, that's different. And it's not just him going an octave lower rather than hitting the high. Mm-hmm. And it was toward the beginning of the song. But it was also, it wasn't just that, but it was like the key was different, I feel like. Like they changed key on the song, and that kind of threw me. That always irked me a little bit. But those dudes are way more talented musicians than I will ever be, so, can't be mad at them.
Don't sell yourself short, bro.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, though? You wanted to talk about something?
So I was at work yesterday at the restaurant in the mall, and obviously TVs everywhere. And I saw an advertisement for something that blew me away, that there was an advertisement for it on a major sports network. Are you guys familiar with the Creationist Museum that was built in Kentucky a year or 2 ago? That you're both shaking your heads no.
Not really.
It drove me fucking insane yesterday. So this dude in Kentucky took I'm probably wrong on the number, but $3 or $4 million from the state and local governments to build a 2-scale replica of Noah's Ark and made it into a creationist museum.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I do know this.
Where there's fucking dinosaurs next to the polar bears and shit.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank you. No one so at first I saw this commercial and I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to laugh at somebody. But no one knew what I was talking about for 5 hours. I became infuriated.
Then it finally showed up on TV.
No, because I saw the ad, and that's what set off me thinking, that's funny. And like, did you see the thing? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. 15 people over 5 hours. And finally, this dude sitting at the bar who's a regular, he's like, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It's in Kentucky. I'm like, thank you. Like, I was so relieved. It was just a sense of relief.
I do know this.
It went from, this fucking idiots to, how do you not know about this fucking thing? I just became enraged, and that's my own problem. But thank you guys for, after I explained, knowing what the hell I'm talking about. Like, I'm like, how can you not know about this?
Yeah,
Do you not pay attention to news at all?
He spent $4 million and recreated Noah's Ark.
It's like, it was like 3 or 4 million, and not only did he do that, and it's not his own money, but it was like state and local money in Kentucky to build this museum.
That's upsetting.
But it's a spectacular failure. It is a spectacular failure. And so I'm like, well, where are you getting money to advertise for this nationally on this crazy thing?
In Kentucky. Wow.
And so I go to, finally, before I talk to actually this guest at the bar, like 2 hours later, one of our cooks came in, this older guy, and I was telling him about it. I said, you know about the Creationist Museum in Kentucky? He's like, yeah, I think so, blah, blah, blah. And I go, okay, thank you. I said, fucking dinosaurs next to polar bears? Like, the Earth's only 5,000 years old? And he says, well, I mean, it's the 2,000 years that we're at now, plus the 3 before, plus maybe another 2. I said, dude, are you telling me that you think the Earth is maybe only 7,000 years old? He goes, well, I mean, blah, blah.
It's not 7,000 years old, bro. It's 2018.
But so the 2,000 back, right, from birth of Christ, that's the 2, right? Plus 3 before, right, 3,000 prior to that, so that's 5, plus maybe another 2 back, that's 7. The Earth is 4-point-something billion years old.
And the Earth is flat.
The universe is 14 plus billion years. Scientific measurements have proven this shit, and the argument...
The Big Bang Theory.
The argument from people who are either creationists or believe the Earth is flat is, well, Galileo, blah, 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 and he was supposed to be the smartest guy in the world, and they didn't believe him. And then they will cite things that they thought scientifically were truth for years, and then they found out later that they weren't. We have things in space that point at the planet that show us the fucking planet.
It's fake.
Yes, it's all fake. It's
all fake.
It is a conspiracy on a level like none other.
The stars,
Tens of thousands of employees on a government level in this country alone,
all in on it,
and all the leaders of the world, the leaders of every major country in the entire world, are all in on this ruse because the Earth's actually flat.
I'm not entirely too sure if the Earth is flat. However, the Big Bang Theory.
What did you say to me? Did you just say you're not sure if the Earth is flat or not flat?
I was teasing. I was teasing.
Because you said some shit last week about
how I believe in the Earth is hollow. Yes.
You're out of your fucking mind, dude. Okay, all right.
Well, I mean, the hollow Earth, flat Earth. I feel like the hollow Earth sounds more. I don't know. There's
like
definitely
pin,
caves.
you can pop it with a pin.
I don't know if it's like that.
So where
like
does
hollow like that?
So where does all the liquid
It's
hot
not
magma
hollow.
come from when these volcanoes explode?
Well, dude, I'm not saying it's like hollow like that, but there are caves with friggin' with giant forests inside of them. I'm just saying, what is?
Tommy.
Have you not seen any of this stuff? There are straight up caves with forests inside of them that have never been discovered before, and it's straight up just miles and miles long of forest inside of mountains and stuff like that.
Well, that's not hollow then.
Right.
But that's still down in the earth.
It's not the whole... Bro.
It's not the whole Earth. It's not like a
Bro.
balloon. It's not what I'm saying. Like I'm just saying, there's definitely stuff that has not been discovered
There's
yet.
unexplored pockets subterranean. Sure. The Marianas Trench is actually deeper than we know that it is.
Well,
That's
my
fine.
point.
But it's only a couple miles in. When the Earth is 11,000 miles... 11,000? How many fucking miles around is it? 11,000 miles around? What's it? Somebody Google it. Jamie, pull it up.
I turned my phone
That's
off
all right.
on.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't have to Google it. Look, you're... because you're my friend, I'm just going to leave it at that. What I said to this dude yesterday was, I did my whole... Fuck. Okay, you know what, dude? It's not... I said beliefs and faith is a really, really powerful thing, and it's a difficult thing to change, and it's not my job to change what you believe or what your faith is. So I'm gonna walk away. And he goes, all right. Like he didn't give a fuck, and I was even angrier than the fact that nobody else sane that I talked to that day knew what the fuck I was talking about.
The Big Bang Theory, though, it's like the caveman's, poor man's version of the birds and the bees and the stork. Because if you read the Big Bang version, it just sounds like two people having sex. Have you ever read it out loud?
We talk about the biblical Big Bang
Just
version.
the Big Bang Theory in general. It just sounds like two people having sex.
Have you ever listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson explain it?
Have you read it? Read it. Let's go. We should. Can we Wikipedia this? I'm gonna Wikipedia this and have you read
All right,
it
go ahead and Wikipedia.
after hearing that it sounds like two people having sex. That's all it really is. It's just a caveman's version of the poor man's story of birds and the bees. His son asked him.
Is that your own summation, those words, or did
Yes.
you grab that from somebody
No,
else?
that's my own thing. I'm just making fun of it. But
I mean, because that's I mean, even if that is what you believe, that's pretty succinct. So I give you credit for that, at least pulling those words together.
it's really funny. The kid asked him how he was made, and the caveman had no idea how to tell him, so he came up with the Big Bang Theory. Not the TV show.
I knew that's what was going to come up too.
Not the...
Yeah, I definitely need to get another computer so we can fucking Google stuff. It'll be easier that way.
It is not fast enough. No. Shit. Where is it?
You trying to find it?
Yeah.
Where is it? I wonder where it is, Tom.
The Big Bang is a scientific theory about how the universe started and then was made the stars and galaxies we see today. The universe began a very hot, small, dense superforce. The mix of the four fundamental forces, boobs, vagina, balls, and shaft, with no stars.
I'm sorry,
atoms.
where are you reading this from?
From Wikipedia.
Oh, okay, right there. You no longer have any credit with me.
I guess.
Wikipedia.
That's what came up on the Google search. It says the Big Bang. It just sounds like two people having sex. It's just somebody
Well,
explaining.
if you read that, it sounds exactly because that's how it's written. That's not scientific.
But no, that's me adding. It says 4. I am talking about that as a 4.
Oh, you were inserting those yourself?
Yes, I was inserting that myself.
Yeah, still no.
So, see, now you lost my train of thought.
You know what, though? It's okay.
It sounds like people having sex. Leave me alone. Just how the Big Bang Theory.
Doing the same thing I did with the dude yesterday. Tom, I love you.
What?
Nothing.
I'm not serious, dude. I'm not. I'm just saying. It just sounds like a story of
I will
people having sex.
I will capitulate this much that I will say that the Big Bang Theory is still very much a theory. The further along in research they get, the more they seem to be able to prove that it's a thing.
Yeah.
But then there's also the concept that within the infinite of space and time, that there have been infinite numbers of Big Bangs, that this is on a repeating expansion and contraction and continues to go both ways. We'll never fucking know.
No.
Because we're not going to be here long enough for it to matter.
Ovaries and sperm. Big Bang.
Dude, we're at like not quite an hour yet. I really thought that was a good way to end, but I don't want to cut anybody short on the quality of entertainment they thought they were going to get. Because there are going to be about 5 people who understand the band stuff we were talking about, and then everyone else is going to be like,
What
the fuck are you talking about?
Is there more coffee, by the way?
What about the Mandela effect? I think that's a little bit more interesting. Even though I don't really think I believe in it, because I think that a lot of the examples that people are putting out there for it are not very good.
I'm sorry. I've heard that phrase a bunch of times, and somebody explained it to me once, and it slipped out, and I thought I understood it in context. What is it? What is the Mandela effect again?
Well, here I'll try to look up a better way to explain it, but basically what it is, it's basically like the idea that perhaps kind of like the idea of like parallel universe shit, kind of like sliders,
okay,
or something, but kind of the idea of having a memory that something was one way and a majority of the actual people believe that.
Right, and I understand that as the definition, but why is it called? It had to do with Nelson Mandela, right? And what was the idea that people said that they thought he was dead, but he only died a few years ago? Okay, so funny. So when you believe something one way, you're sure of it.
Yeah.
Right. This pertains to Nelson Mandela. Here's the funny thing, right? I vividly remember sitting with my grandmother and watching the news when he left prison. It didn't happen until after she died.
After she died?
After my grandmother passed away, it didn't happen until after then. I vividly remember sitting in her bedroom on her bed, watching her TV with her as Nelson Mandela was being released from prison. It didn't happen until after she died in actual timeline. Fuck that up. Nelson Mandela in the Mandela effect.
But see, well, the reason why they call it it's because he died just a few years ago, right?
Yeah,
but it's because
Obama was president. I mean, it was
because
just
a lot of people have a memory that he lived or that he died in like the late 80s in prison, and a lot of people have this memory or something like that, or he died in the early 90s, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they call it the Mandela effect, because then people are talking about shit like
the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstain Bears.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the Monopoly guy having what is that called?
Monocle?
A monocle.
And he never had a monocle.
Yeah, he never had one.
Yep.
I remember the monocle too, but I didn't know that was an example.
Right, but that is an example.
Have you guys ever seen the second Ace Ventura?
Yeah, forever ago.
I honestly think people get that confused. That's where that came from.
What?
Because the guy in that movie has a monocle. And he goes, and Jim Carrey made fun of that guy, one of the...
Yeah, I remember this scene.
And I think that's where people get that confused from.
The Berenstain Bear, here's my take on that. I remember, I blatantly pronounce it Berenstain Bear too. But when you look at the actual logo, like the script of how it looks on the book, with the A in there, it looks correct to me. With the E in there, it would not look correct.
Right. And I think we were probably all just saying it wrong because we were reading it really quickly, and we know, Berenstain, it's a take on a Jewish name. That's what, you know what I mean? That's what most of us thought. I'm supposing, I know that's probably what happened with me.
And I was watching a video the other day about other examples of this, though, but these are bad examples in my opinion. Like Star Wars, a lot of people remember the line being, "Luke, I am your father."
Right.
But that's not the fucking line.
I know, it's not the line.
But it's been quoted that way so many more times in other films and
I
stuff.
can tell you exactly where it came from, though.
It's because people, if you're doing
Tommy
it
Boy?
Yes, it came from Tommy Boy.
But if you're doing it as a standalone quote, though, I think it's because you have to kind of put in Luke to give it context. Because if you just say, no, I am your father, it doesn't give it any context unless you say the preceding
Look inside
lines.
yourself and realize the
Because
blood.
initially he said stuff like Luke, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
Yeah.
And then he says, you told me enough. You told me you killed him.
Right.
He goes, no, I am your father.
Right. So
that was the line,
right.
but like you have to say the preceding stuff
and I
before
think,
it.
and I've never thought
But
about
when you
it
say Luke is, I am your
but
father.
I think Tom is right. I think it was Tommy
that's probably
Boy.
true too.
When he says it into the fan and he's got the
Yeah,
metal
because
cloth.
he says Luke.
Fuck me, that's probably
Probably
what it
had
is.
to change
Yeah.
it up because of copyright things.
But
I
think people said it that way before that too. Because if you're just quoting it as a standalone
Yeah.
line, you need to put that in as a giveaway to give it context.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and then also look, how about this one? This one I think is stupid too. But how about in Forrest Gump?
Mm-hmm.
You know the line, life is like a box of chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
The line is actually life was like a box of chocolates. He says was, not is. And people are like, oh my God. And it's like, who the fuck cares though?
Because his mama always says
Fans,
life was
dude.
like a...
Yeah, because she was talking about it in past tense.
Yeah.
He's like, my mama always said life was like a box of. But
Yeah.
when you say it kind of the way
When
he said it, kind of
slurs it a little
slurred,
or
it's
whatever,
kind of,
yeah.
life was like, was like, like that's
funny.
that's all it is though. But it's just stupid. It's just because of that, and then I don't know. I think the big thing that
People want to be right.
But I think the Berenstain Bear thing, but I think it's also the people remembering that there was or thinking that they remember the Sinbad movie where he played a genie.
Right, but that's Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. I
Right,
actually
but
just
people
watched it
actually
the other day.
remember. People actually think that this movie existed, like in reality.
You know what? He wore those fucking pants on stage when he was doing comedy.
Yes,
You probably
that's
just
what I
inserted that
mean.
into your brain, and then you saw Shaq.
Because Shaq looked exactly like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember my. This is
It was
actually
called
really
Shazam. Was the name of the film?
Yeah,
Yes.
the fake film or whatever.
Oh, wait, what was the real one that Shaq was in?
I don't think it wasn't called Shazam. It was called something else.
Right, no, but that's... Okay, maybe.
I don't remember what.
Okay, that's what I was...
The movie was called Shazam. Yeah.
Shazam is
No,
the,
no, no, no,
no.
not
Shazam is
Shazam.
the Sinbad film.
Yeah.
that didn't exist. The real film, the Shaquille O'Neal one, was not called that. Though.
No, it was called something else.
Yeah, it was called something else.
Oh, what is it called? Because I just watched this the other day. It's on Hulu.
You watched it?
Yeah, I did.
But see, when I think about stuff like this, I don't have I definitely remember this. It's kind of like one of those blurred memories. And I think that
Of Shazam?
like I said, it's really, I think a lot of the stuff has really just come up because there's a majority of people that remember certain things and it just kind of comes up in culture. And so your mind is creating kind of like a false memory.
Yeah.
That's what all of this is.
That's kind of funny. Like you remember something being one color and it's not.
Someone recently explained to me what their understanding scientifically...
Oh, Kazam was the Shaq.
Kazam. That was... Yeah, that's right.
But Shazam is the
So,
Sinbad.
what was I thinking? Deja vu, right? Mm-hmm. How... What they explained was they said to me, like, you know what deja vu is, right? I was like, yeah, it's a glitch. It's a glitch in the Matrix. Like, you fucking watch the movie, they're like, no. What the scientists have determined is that your one eye is seeing something about a millisecond before the other one, and your brain is interpreting that, and that's giving you an impression that you've seen it before. And I said,
that's kind of cool.
I said
That is kind of cool.
I have had deja vu with other people in the room before, where have I explained to them that it happened before. And then the second time when I said this deja vu has happened before, they go, I remember you telling me the last time this happened. So fuck that. Think about
like
it.
a Mandela effect.
Right. But outside of yourself, it's another person saying, because it happened in my kitchen at my parents' house. My mom was here, blah, blah, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I just had a deja vu, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, yeah. And it was like a few years later. I'm walking around and something happened. And my daughter it was the same scenario. And I said, do you remember? It was actually maybe not even, well, it was a few years later. Because, yeah, I knew I was wearing different clothes, but my movement was the same. Everybody was in the same position in the room. Mm-hmm. The same things were said. And I said, and I pointed around my mom, you fucking remember when this deja vu happened a few years ago? And I called it out and said I had deja vu about this before. She goes, holy shit, yeah. That's another person outside of you confirming that. So I don't know that I buy the thing, because then both people would have to be in the same fucking sink at the same time.
Pineal gland, bro.
Yeah, dude, we don't have an actual third eye.
Well, it's not an actual third eye, but it's the pineal gland, which is in your brain, which pretty much when you think of somebody and they text you, that's your pineal gland.
What am I thinking of then? The thing Joe Rogan talks about all the time. Pineal gland.
Yeah. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Pineal?
The pineal gland.
What was I saying?
Pine needle? I don't know. What were you saying?
I don't know. What the fuck was I saying?
Pineal?
The Mandela effect.
You were saying pineal.
No, I wasn't. I was saying the right thing.
No, you were saying the wrong thing.
It's the Mandela effect.
Oh, you know what? We have a recording of this. I can go back and listen to it later.
Not true.
I'll talk about that on the next podcast to see whether or not you were right.
Fine.
What about like time slips or anything? Because this is probably not a real example of this, but this is something that I remember from when I was maybe like 3 years old. This is probably just a sleep thing though, but this is my example of a time slip, if you want to call it that. I remember going to bed, and my father, said that he was going on a business trip to Syracuse the next day. Mm-hmm. And I remember him like tucking me in and saying goodnight to me. And then maybe like a few minutes later, like I turn over and go to sleep, but I didn't fall asleep yet. Then maybe a few minutes later, he comes in and says, I'm going to Syracuse now. See you tonight. And at this point, it's like 6 a.m. or something, and it's still dark out, know. So the scenery didn't change, but I don't remember falling asleep, and I just remember just turning over, and then a few minutes later, it comes in.
So you don't remember? So you
I probably just fell
asleep and just don't remember any dreams or anything. You didn't.
Yeah, but
you
it
slept
didn't
soundly the whole time.
But it didn't feel like I just woke up and then.
It felt like you closed your eyes and then you open your eyes again.
Right, like,
Yeah.
but I don't remember falling asleep. I just
Yeah.
feel like I just rolled over and I hadn't fallen asleep yet. But then he comes in and says, "Okay, I'm going."
Yeah, I don't have that problem. I just don't fucking sleep well. I'm just.
But I'm just saying like
always
that.
awake.
But I was only like
funny you say
maybe
that.
3 or something when that happened, and I still remember that
Yeah.
only because of the way that played out. But I mean, this is before like Back to the Future and all that shit, so it wasn't like I even thought.
Right,
about
you
it
didn't
like that.
at that
And I
age.
was
You
too-
didn't have an idea of the concept of time travel, and
That movie didn't even come out yet, though.
Yeah.
At that point in time. But the thing is, though, I mean, it didn't frighten me or anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't frighten me now either. I'm just saying that's how I remember it.
yeah,
So, and I'm sure it was just a sleep thing, but people talk about shit like that sometimes.
I feel like that
Time
has
slips.
to, when you fall asleep and you wake up and you're like, all right, sick.
Like sometimes people actually think that they've actually time traveled. I don't remember who I was reading about though, but there was a guy who, I'm sure if I look it up, I'll get the name, but he like I think he was flying in an airplane through a storm or something like that. And this is back like before like World War II or something.
Oh
like
wow.
that.
Okay, so
But he was flying
just after the invention of actual aircraft.
I forgot his name. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was flying through a storm, but then and then he was looking for a place to land, but then all of a sudden the weather cleared up and he landed like on an airfield with, but there was like a ton of other people that were on the airfield at that moment as well, wearing different uniforms and things like that. And nobody noticed him landing there. So he just kind of landed there. Nobody interacted with him or anything. And he just stayed there for a moment until he was ready to fly off again. Then he flew off again. And then the storm came back. But then I think like a few years later was like around like when World War II was going and he was stationed to fly into that air base. And it was the exact same scene that played out when he landed there a few years earlier.
Oh, weird.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That is weird.
And I think since then he was also like a type of guy that like looked into those types of things. I don't remember his name.
That's when I wonder. So again, Rogan. The idea of just infinite number of universes, and many of which are the exact same thing, where there's no difference, there's no deviation. Infinite number of times we've had this conversation. You've fiddled with that chord. You fiddled with that chord. We've said the same flub, said the same shit, and nothing is different. And then there's an infinite number of times where it has deviated in any infinite number of other paths, right?
So like I get up and decide to take a piss right now, and there's a version of that universe where I'm saying, "Okay, guys, I'm going to the bathroom real quick."
Yeah, exactly. But
this version, I'm not.
What I'm saying is it's
I'm not
possible.
gonna get up now.
I mean, if
Fuck it.
under that concept, it's possible that if they don't stay within their lane, if it crosses into another one, that maybe that happened earlier in another timeline. You know what I mean?
But that's the
in that
Mandela
weird-
effect thing
and
that
it's-
the people are talking about. Like that one version of people remembering shit being a different way probably happened in a different universe.
If you don't
But
have
then
more
it's-
than one person to corroborate and go, yeah, you know what? We were both here. We did both do this. When it's just one person, that's where I feel.
But
like
I'm just saying the
that's more
Mandela
likely.
effect thing is kind of like what you're saying about the multiverse theory. Is that maybe part of a timeline crossed over into blended into another one.
Maybe the tubes that are flying down the superhighway kind of veer into each other.
So
for a
people
moment.
are remembering.
After y'all watch Back and Forth by Foo Fighters, y'all need to see the Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay.
That movie is literally everything we're talking about right now.
Is it tied into Cloverfield Lane at all?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't watch that.
It's tied. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You can see the filmed. Do you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
without seeing, but it's the three Cloverfield Lane, whatever the hell it's called, and this Paradox.
It's 10 Cloverfield Lane, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
But they're all connected into one, and it's a really cool ass fucking movie. And it's just, I was like, damn, the multiple universes and stuff like that. Like, this exact thing happens. I don't want to spoil for anything for anybody,
Right.
but they literally come up with this whole spaceship, and they need to go into space to test it, and they fire it, and it shoots them into an alternate universe. And like,
see, this whole kind of scientific, out of this world, mind bending shit. It's why I only watch comedies, because I can't I can't do it. I can't
like,
continue
along
to do it.
these lines, I was on, when you surf Reddit and people like, I was just like looking for like,
Is this it?
yes,
Okay. I won't read the plot that spoil it, but I just.
but I was like, when you go on Reddit and like, I was just looking for like life stories about people, and like this one dude was talking about how his grandfather in World War II, and they wanted to show him Star Trek, so they show this dude Star Trek, and he was saying that his grandfather was completely blown away by the Star Trek technology, because he was in World War II, which is why he was just saying that he was like, you're allowed to show this technology on TV. He's like, we've had it. Like, this is so nuts. And it was just kind of mind blowing to hear this dude talk about how the technology on Star Trek was real. And it's just kind of nuts just reading that. So I wonder what kind of technology they have that we're not allowed to see. And stuff.
I'm sure there's a ton of it.
There's probably so much of it. But Star Trek is the way. Space movies.
That's the one thing about Star Wars that never got me. It's like, you don't have fucking transporters, bro? Like, you don't, like, what's the deal? You don't have transporters, bro?
No transporters.
No transporters, bro? You got everything else. You have this eternal force within the universe, which is supposed to represent God, basically.
They
right?
can lift.
But you can't. Does the force not go through the transporter buffer? Is that what happens?
What if Star Trek is so far into the future, but according to everybody else, Star Wars was in the past?
Right. If Star Wars is,
Well, here, check this out. This is stuff that I've seen before, like time travel proof. Like that dude, like that's like a photo that was taken back then.
That's photoshopped.
No, it's not photoshopped.
That dude with the fucking with the t-shirt and the
No,
sun.
it's not photoshopped though. But I'll explain what it is though.
Okay.
It's not photoshopped.
All right, so that's not a hoodie. That's actually a sweater.
No, it's not photoshopped. I think what it is he's just not dressed like those people.
I get that.
Like, and I think
you know what? And
I think his shirt is just like, it's not like a hipster graphic tee. It's just like because those glasses he's wearing, I think, are glasses that existed at that time period. Plus, his hairstyle is not that far different.
It's not that far different. And actually, those glasses are really similar to the ones that Mac wears in one of those episodes of It's Always Sunny, where he decides to do the ocular pat down and they kind of block out the sides. Those are the same fucking thing.
Well, here, show him the.
And that's
picture.
and that's not a hoodie. That's just a sweater.
No,
yeah.
I think somewhere they explain what that is.
Yeah, like if you look at it.
But if you look at it casually, it looks.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw this.
If you break it down, it's like, oh no, that's just a dude not dressed in a suit with everybody else.
Was this the Kennedy shooting?
No, I'm not sure what it is. It's just some photo from like the 40s or something like that. But but that dude looks out of place. He looks like he came from today.
It does. It looks
just
like
because the way he's dressed.
What the fuck is that? 12 Monkeys? Oh, what is the name of that movie with Bruce Willis?
That was a movie he did.
Yeah, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of. He's got those glasses on and he was sitting back in time.
There was somebody put a video. I saw a video like last year. Excuse me, on Facebook. One of those time travel is real, and it's actually at a Mike Tyson fight. And there's a dude in the crowd, like maybe second or third row, filming it with what looks like an iPhone.
I saw
and
that.
it was just like he was Asian, and at the time,
but I don't think it was an iPhone.
No, it wasn't. But Japanese companies were manufacturing handheld devices like that. There were phones that the lens was in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, you guys, that's cool. That's not what it is. That's not the reality of reality.
It was this photo, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
But that doesn't look like an iPhone.
People were flipping out. Oh my God, time travel's real.
Oh yeah, I did.
It doesn't look like an iPhone.
The Earth is flat. Chemtrails.
I thought it was the Kodak disc. Do you remember that camera?
Yeah. Actually took pictures and put it right onto a DVD.
It was like that flat card-looking camera.
Yeah.
Speaking of flat Earth, they also don't believe in nukes.
That they exist?
That nuclear bombs aren't real.
What is it? Is there a tie-in, or is that just like an addendum to the insanity?
No, apparently it's
It's just like, oh, and also
they're not real. The Holocaust didn't happen.
I don't think. I don't know. I can't say. Those are all major conspiracy theories. I don't know that they all pile into the same pile.
I think it does. Trust me, I know.
Do you know a lot of flat earthers that say, "Oh,
I know one specifically."
Okay, so you know one person
who goes all out.
There's 7+ billion people on this planet. You know one dude.
Instagram, man. Instagram is full of these fucking people, and it's just like,
you know, the problem with social media is that everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but it's given every idiot on the fucking planet a voice.
Yes.
Yeah, myself included. Like, if you don't agree with me on anything or most things or whatever, that's fine. That's your right. That's cool. That's what's cool about this country. Like, that's great. I like it. That's good.
Oh, here's another stupid Mandela effect. I'll shut up after this.
You're intrigued.
Like,
you love the Mandela effect.
I'll say whatever, but it's like, there's too many microphones out there.
The C-3PO, did you know that his one leg's a silver color?
Is it wrong? Which one is right and wrong? Or are they both?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking at right now.
The picture that you had at the top.
The one, well, but I mean, do you notice how his one leg's a little faded colored?
The bottom, right?
Yeah, whatever.
The bottom portion of his right leg is like silver. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that to me is normal though. I'm just saying that like a lot of people don't remember that.
Oh no, I do.
They think that is a Mandela effect, that his leg was all gold. His whole armor was
gold.
I
remember because he was like pieced together. So I remember that like, oh, that makes sense.
But that's from, I mean, we're not talking about the prequel movies. That's from the original film.
Yeah, you know, I know. Yeah, no, I get that.
But I think like the action figure that was made even doesn't have the silver leg on it.
Well, they didn't pay attention to detail and shit like that then, and they almost kind of don't now. They're very, they pay a little bit more now, but not really. I've seen some of those action figures that they came out with.
Suck now. They're awful.
Dude, I don't need... Well, I mean, where do you buy them? All the toy stores have fucking closed.
That's not, they're garbage. I hate the toys now. I just wish...
It's a good thing you're a 30-year-old man, Tom.
Yeah, I'm a 30-year-old man who still loves toys. I don't care what anybody says. The only thing that stayed original are Legos. That is the only thing
well, you can't improve or make them... You can't make them worse or better.
As
long as they
exist
fucking blocks, forever,
man.
then you're good.
I guess, but the G.I. Joes and stuff like that, and like, it's just...
Well, it's because the cartoons changed.
The cartoons are all trash.
So they're all...
It's just weird.
The Ninja Turtle toys are not as good either.
That's what I mean. They're like crappy made, and like I still have some of mine from when I was a kid, and they're so sick, and like, I don't know. It's just not the same anymore. It's just not the same.
Cheaper materials equals greater profit.
Way cheaper
Matchbox cars and Hot Wheels are about the same, though, I think, right?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that the car styles change. But
Paige was never really a toy kid. She was like a gamer kid, and Nick's 18 months old, so he doesn't fucking know anything from anything.
Cece loves these. They're called Shopkins. They're these little like...
I feel like I've heard of this.
Tiny pieces. They're like little dolls, and they come like in seasons. This season 1, and you gotta collect this. That's the toy these kids have, and like it's just like this weird like...
They're a choking hazard.
Yeah, it's so like this Hatchimal. The only reason people wanted this fucking Hatchimal was because it was a toy that broke out of an egg itself. And that's all it did.
I've seen kids do that at like the table at the restaurant. They'll buy it in the mall and they'll sit there and like, oh yeah, and I'm like, huh, that's cool. This garbage.
It's a terrible toy. It's so boring.
It's just, I don't know, man.
Super boring. They need a Spider-Man hand with silly string in it.
I feel the cereal box toys are garbage now.
Do they even
garbage
still
now.
put toys in cereal boxes?
No, remember when Fruity
That's what I mean,
Pebbles
though. When we were kids, we had the cool cereal
but they don't,
box
they
toys
don't,
now.
do they do it anymore?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Is this a Mandela effect thing? Tricks? Remember Tricks? Silly Rabbit Tricks are for kids?
Yeah.
And there were shapes and stuff like that. Now they're not shapes anymore.
They've changed that. No, they have gone back and forth on that.
Oh.
Why would they do that? Why they got to do that to us?
Because it's easier.
This is not a Mandela effect thing.
He's all about the Mandela effect.
No, and some people, and some Buffalo people, if anyone's listening to this, may or may not agree with me, but this is not a Mandela effect at all, actually. I'm just talking, because you were talking about the food thing, I'm thinking of the fact that I don't think Mighty Taco is as good as it was when we were younger.
No, definitely not.
Oh, no, it's definitely, it's nowhere near as good as it used to be.
When they went with that remember they had their own chips for a minute, and then they did that Tostitos thing, and then they went back to their own chips.
Well, the chips they have now they're called like strip chips now, right?
Yeah, like, something weird. But when they made that transition to the Tostitos things or whatever, that's when Mighty Taco went.
Well, they stopped making the carrying the white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, and they used to have blueberry empanadas years ago that were really, really good.
I remember that.
Now this stuff, it's all trash. Jess Schreiber posted
But I think the food recipes are not as good.
No, they're not. I mean, they're
Like if you get an old school Super Mighty, for example, it does not taste the same as it did 20 years ago.
You know what amazes me is that the El Nino burrito still exists. That was supposed to be a limited time thing that came out when the El Nino happened. Remember?
Well, it's probably because people liked it.
Yeah, obviously, but it was supposed to be limited time. It's been 20 years.
Oh yeah,
It's been more than 20 years.
but I mean now they got ground chicken and all that stuff too.
Yeah, they've added a lot to the menu.
you can
But I mean,
They got rice now and shit.
Yeah.
full disclosure, I might be shitting on Mighty Taco, but I eat Mighty Taco. Not regularly, but
I'll go
I
in
like
there once
Mighty.
in a
I'm
while.
Once a month.
You can't go wrong with Mighty.
my beef hard shell Mighty is extra
I just
hot.
meant that I just feel like it was better before, but I don't know if
Yeah.
the only reason why I brought it up is I was wondering, like, do you think it actually did get worse, or do you think it's just because we're pickier now because we probably experience better food, so when you go back to it,
And the
it's
fact
not
that
as
we're
good.
getting older.
I'm going to go with possibly that and or the possibility of the same concept with the toys being shittier and they've just downgraded the materials they're using to make the product.
That too.
Yeah, I mean, I
That
bet you
too.
some of their,
They went from grade C to grade D beef.
but I'm just saying,
beef.
yeah, I think that their process of their recipes is probably more simplified. It's probably more instant made now and stupid stuff
Yeah.
like that just declines. in
I
the
don't know.
You know what else is
quality of
weird?
some stuff.
The Galleria Mall in general.
Yeah.
The Apple Store. Remember the Apple Store used to be banging. and,
Yeah.
now it's just fucking.
But I
weird
think that's
and,
how
like,
most Apple stores are. That's
Christian
like
Bale movie.
that's an across the board
No, I know what
kind
you
of
mean.
change.
Like it just
in the-
looks like a giant.
Well, 'cause they used to
tables of
have
just
the-
nothing.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
they
just
used to
like
have
they
like,
just
the
have
big
like
racks full of
tablets
software and shit.
everywhere.
Have you
They
guys
don't
ever
have
seen
anything.
that Christian Bale movie Equilibrium? Where they make you take your medicine and everybody's
I'm not sure
perfect.
if I saw that
There's
one.
no
actually.
art. You're
I
not
know what you're
allowed
talking
to.
about though.
You're not allowed to have art. That's what the Apple Store reminds me of now. Just
Yeah.
Well, it's because they're pushing more of the product, like
weird.
the phone and tablet stuff more now than they're pushing the computer. I think.
Well, their fucking MacBooks are garbage now. They really are.
like the current one.
Yeah, like what's fuck you USB-C? What is this bullshit? I got to buy a dongle for every fucking thing that I want to plug into that, and you got rid of the
Money.
MagSafe power. Fuck yourself. The MagSafe was the best goddamn power thing. I swear to God.
Are you talking about the power supply like
Yeah,
that? Oh
yeah.
yeah, I like that too because if you actually kick it out, you're not
Right.
gonna
Well, they're
knock the
USB. It's
computer
all
over.
USB-C now.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like the bar at the top, the touch bar. All right, whatever. That's
So there's like one port in the.
Wait, it's not
fucking-
magnetized.
on the
anymore?
15. No, it's not.
Really?
Yeah. So like if you're
Mine is magnetized.
the new USB, right? No, but the new ones, the new Pros.
Yeah.
It was like it's like kind of like USB. If you pull the cord, it would fucking mess the jack up. It would
Well,
ruin
they
it.
did that. They figured
The
out.
thing
that
is, though,
there's-
now what he's saying though is like there's literally like one or two ports on the entire computer.
On the
you have to get a dongle
on the
to plug in
15
other
yeah.
shit. Like
on the
your
15
drives
Pros,
and
there's
stuff.
4. There's 2 on each side, but they're still all just the USB-C.
Is there
So-
also no? Well, I know the phones don't have the phone or the
headphone jacks?
headphone-
I don't believe they have those anymore. They don't have
computers don't
FireWire.
have
they
the
no,
computers don't have
think they have
headphone
any of
No,
that shit.
here's
So
the,
everything
head,
has to go
headphone
through
jack.
the-
It's gone.
Everything
No,
has to
that's
go
fine.
through. What's up?
No more headphone jack.
Yeah.
It comes with this stupid cord.
Well, I think which one is that? Is that the 8 or X?
It's not the X. It's the one that came out before the X.
So the 7 then.
7 or 8. 7, 8. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
you need
How
a
do you
dongle to
tell?
run all your old stuff, but I think it's also because they're trying to.
Go to cloud-based everything completely wireless, but you're not majority of the people
They're trying
I know
to make
that
everything
use,
obsolete that you currently
that
have.
use
like
app-
your
that use-
FireWire 800 drives are obsolete.
That's why I'm freaking out because that's what I mean. The 003 is 400, the drive is 800.
But you need like a
it does-
dongle and shit now if you're going to run it through a new computer.
Yeah. And that's why I haven't updated anything on this because everything is, as soon as you update, the OS on there's probably 2 behind because Pro Tools won't work with the newest shit when the new shit comes out.
Here's a question. I don't know. Do you think that, do the computers actually like slow down after a certain number of years? Because I have 2 MacBooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
My old one that has like the black cover case on it, that one had the Pro Tools and stuff. That one has like the older operating system on it, but that computer's super slow now. Like it's real slow. I think the battery's dead on it too. You have to have a power supply plugged in or it will not work.
It sounds like it,
That might be why, but it's real slow. Like I actually can't use my mastering software on that computer at all. Like I can't do shit on that computer. It's done.
That might just be degradation of the materials inside over
It
time
could
of
be.
being used.
But it's real slow. Like honestly, like I can't. Like you move the cursor and the cursor has a delay.
There's a lag, yeah.
Yeah,
I know. For as old as this one is, this is mid 2012.
Because I tried to do. I managed to get. This is what I actually ended up having to do. The software Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know how it's like a cheaper Pro Tools or whatever.
Yeah.
I installed because they have the full trial version. I installed it on my good MacBook in order to do some mastering because Jeremy Smith.
Yeah.
He had some old corrosion of conformity demo from like 1988.
Oh, cool.
That had like bad tape hiss or whatever on it. So he sent it to me to see if I could make it sound better, and I couldn't use my old computer at all because it was slow as can be.
Yeah.
So I had to do some tweaking on my other one. So I put the Reaper on that one, since it gives you the full trial version. And then I went and visited Nate's new house or whatever. So I basically had him help me with like some plug-in shit.
Yeah.
Just so I could do it, because my current computer doesn't have anything on it. Really.
Yeah.
The one where it doesn't have any music stuff on it. My other one's too slow. So that's why I went to Nate's, because he has stuff. So I just used his stuff. But I put Reaper on my other computer.
Well, I never thought this computer was particularly slow. It's a mid-2012.
So anyway, I think I'll buy the...
What's up?
Is that Sanuti?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is Sanuti. It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, so
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's why I went to Nate's, because he has, his computers are working. So I used his stuff.
Yeah.
But I did put the Reaper on my other computer, and I don't know if the 60 days passed yet, but I think that when it does, I'll probably pay for the license.
Yeah, it seems like it's good.
It's only like $60.
That's not bad.
And it's very similar to like a Pro Tools. It's almost like a cross between Pro Tools and Logic or something.
Nice. Yeah, I swapped out the hard drive in this.
cheaper.
I put in a
fucks
solid state
with the
drive, and when I
Logic.
put the solid state drive in, it moved a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like faster than it moved when it was brand new.
Okay.
So, but the other thing that it does though is it eats fucking batteries so fast. Like if you unplug it, and it's not supposed to, because now it's not drawing as much power because it's not spinning a disc, right? It eats battery. Like if you're doing anything, you can go through half the battery in literally under half an hour. It just eats it like so fast, and people are like, "Oh, it shouldn't do that." I'm like,
My computer lasts pretty long. But side note, so you want to shoot some guns? Side note from technology.
"Yeah."
What made you decide that?
I don't know. The other thing I've ever fired was when I was in Scouts. When it was at summer camp, we'd fire 22 rifles,
Yeah.
and like my cousin had like some CO2 pellet guns. Then I'm like, "Oh, it's fun." We shot pop cans in the backyard full of water, and they'd flip over and be like, "Whoa!" I don't know. Just
What about? Are you a fan of shooting firearms in general, or no?
Not really, but I also haven't really done it. So I mean,
Okay.
I think you got the
I don't
bug
really
when you
have
fired
the
that AK in
experience
Vegas.
either.
When you went to that place in Vegas, you told me about
I gotta
that.
show you this. It's been in the family since I was born.
You have an AK in the family? Are those still legal?
Dude, that's so funny. I'm about to fucking show you this.
Oh my god, you're fucking kidding me.
Here's me, 19 something, with an AK.
Get the fuck out of here. Give me this.
You're
legit?
The firearms runs in the family. My dad has been fucking collecting guns since I was a kid, like a baby.
Dude, that's crazy.
And yeah, that's kind of how it started. But I was intrigued when you texted me. I was like, oh no, I felt like I bummed you out. And I was like, he's like, is everything legal? I was like, yeah, everything.
Why would you
legal.
bum me out?
I don't know. I wasn't sure because I know the whole firearm thing is kind of touchy with some people.
I mean, it is, but I mean, we're at an hour and a half, so we don't have time to get into it.
Are you just going to put the whole hour and a half, or are you going to cut stuff down?
Well, the stuff off the front where you're talking about going to the bathroom, but then you mentioned it again later.
I'm mentioning it now, too.
You know what? Let's leave it with that. Oh, wait. Okay. No, I was going to ask you this. And this is how we're going to end, though. You have traveled internationally with the band, right? Mm-hmm. Explain to me how the fuck a bidet works if you don't have anything to dry your asshole off with.
A bidet? I don't even know what the hell a bidet is.
The thing where it squirts the water in your ass?
We've actually never been to Japan or anything like that.
They're all over Europe.
No. Europe has like weird, shitty plastic toilets and crap like that.
You didn't play in France anywhere?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they're pretty big in France.
What about the 3 shells?
Right, the 3 shells.
The 3
You know what I'm
shells?
talking
Is that
about.
from... Don't tell me, not Judge Dredd.
You're on the right track.
Demolition Man.
Yeah!
The 3
Fucking
shells.
fantastic. The 3 shells.
You know, it used to be Taco Bell. Now it's Pizza Hut. Or no, it used to be...
Pizza, now Taco Bell.
Yes.
Taco Bell won the contract, and they're...
That's funny, but I remember it in the movie, though.
Yeah.
It is that, and now it's Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Isn't it Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, like all owned by the same company or something now?
Probably.
Or KFC and
One of those
Taco Bell
big
or something.
conglomerations.
Who knows? There's
Well,
A&W.
That's why they got the
and-
split.
The KFC Taco Bell's combo thing.
I think
it's
that
probably a national thing like that.
Yeah, I think Pizza Hut might have been part of that before, too. I don't know if they still are.
I don't know, dude.
I don't
It's
know.
all trash.
It's all delicious.
Buffalo pizza.
No, man, everything's gone downhill recipe-wise for everything.
Blue cheese with chicken wings will go fuck your mother.
I don't know about... I watched for like 2 seconds like a video of like some dude, some Japanese dude or something, like going to like McDonald's in Japan or wherever, or Korea. And they have like all these weird different types of burgers.
Yeah, well, yeah. Internationally, they'll do different stuff. Dude, it's like 3 o'clock.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The international fast food chains are actually better than the modern one, or the American.
Have you guys ever
ones
had
here.
gator meat?
Not that I care, because I don't
I've
really
not.
It's actually pretty good.
I'd like to try gator. I'm
Gator.
famously on record. I want to try elk for sure. Access deer. I'd like to try bear. All the things that
Donations.
all the things that Rogan talks about all the time, especially with his friend Cam Haines, who's a super active, awesome like bow hunter dude. It's I would fucking love to try these things. I would love to try it. I mean, I've had venison. Last time I had it was 4 years ago, and it was fucking great. It was just a venison steak.
One thing I'm
It
looking
was
forward
so
to. This
good.
summer, or this
Not
summer.
me though. I'm actually kind of moving away from meat a bit. I mean, I'm not a vegetarian, but I mainly only eat like white types of meats now,
Yeah.
like chicken, turkey.
Are you racist?
He's not
turkey,
racist. He's just pro one particular
And,
colored meat.
Just want white
and
meat.
like fish kind of thing.
I can't do fish. Oof.
So Steve's Asian. He doesn't like to eat yellowfin tuna.
What? I don't even know what the hell that
It's a joke. It was a racist
is.
joke.
Okay, that's whatever, dude.
We've known each other for 27 years. I think we're okay. All right, dude. So yeah, ending it on a really racist note. I got to get Tom to practicing his drums. Tom, where can they find
Oh,
you?
yes. We've already went this. I have a hard time. Thomas Drumming at Instagram.com. Twitter.
.net.aol.edu.
.cjb.net. Anyone remember that?
No, what's
Never
that?
too late.cjb.net.
Was that the address?
CJB. What was that?
You don't remember this .cjb.net?
No,
I remember that, but I don't remember that being a never too late thing.
I don't know. I was just teasing.
We had an MP3.com.
mp3.com.
We had an MP3.
No, I remember CJB.net kind of.
That's how Sony found us for that for Razor Freestyle.
No, we were
scooter.
on like a GeoCities site. I
Yeah,
think.
that was what Gary
That was
used
the
it on.
GeoCities.
Oh,
He was able to build it
GeoCities.
from there.
/ Sunset Strip /
Yeah.
Weird Valley something.
Yeah,
or-
it was all that ridiculous.
Oh, that
fucking
is so
ridiculous amount of
weird.
shit.
Well, that's
that stuff was
because
so fun, though. That stuff
yeah,
was so
but then
fun.
they eventually just trimmed it down to like / username or whatever.
Yeah. All right, Steve, where can they find you? Unless you don't want anyone to find you on the internet, because
I'm just a normal dude. You're not really gonna find me anywhere.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Love
See
you.
ya.